For years I believed the biggest lie about photography business, and that is that you would need to have a large audience to make photography your career. Sure, having an audience is beneficial, and I have a large one myself, but many photographers start earning well without any social media presence, and so can you. If you're new here, hi, I'm Hugo. I help photographers build freedom through photography, and I've helped photographers get 4- and 5-figure clients without using social media as help. In this video, I'll go through what I would do to start my photography business today if I had 0 followers or not that many followers. But before I go through the 3 steps, if you are a photographer who does want to make photography your full-time career, then you will love an email course I have made called the 7-Day Full-Time Photographer Blueprint. Get that from the link in the description. Indeed, completely free. Get it and you'll love it. Step 1 is designing your freedom photography business so that you don't accidentally build a prison photography business. Most people, when they're starting out, they do not design their business first. They don't think, what is the kind of business that will fuel my lifestyle, allow me to live my dream life. Most photographers just start taking random gigs, like whatever comes at them, and then it snowballs into them building what I call a prison photography business. So instead of photography feeling fun and exciting and you loving your life, you feel like you are trapped into a business that you don't actually enjoy. And when you hear photographers saying like, oh, I lost the love for photography because I went full time, they have built a prison photography business. I love photography still when doing this, full time. I have students who love doing this. They haven't lost love for photography, and that is because we design things first. We design your dream lifestyle. So when you are starting out, get clear what kind of lifestyle do you want, and then from there you can design how can you actually design a business, make a business around your life that does allow you to live the lifestyle. So start with designing. Then once you are very clear on what kind of business and lifestyle you want to live, then we get to step 2, which is then designing the offer that allows you to live this dream lifestyle. These 2 must be connected. And we make sure whatever you offer is actually something that clients want to pay for. Understand business is all about problem solving. You solve a problem for somebody and they pay you for that. If your offer doesn't solve a problem, nobody wants to pay you, okay? So you must make sure you solve some problem for a person or a company. For a company, this typically is that you help them make more money. Or it can be that you help save time from somebody. There's many reasons why somebody could buy, but those are some of the main reasons. And these are the 3 steps that I would take to make sure my offer is absolutely sick and that people actually want to pay me a lot. First, I would get very clear on the problem. So what is the problem I am solving? And what is the dream outcome of the client that I would be serving? This indeed might be that they want to make more money. And maybe right now the problem that the client is having is costing them money. Maybe I see that they don't have good photographs, and I know that not having good photographs, for example in hotels, is reducing the booking rate. So I know that there is money left on table. And so I can then offer my services to help them increase the booking rate, thus increasing their revenue. So their dream outcome might be that they want to, of course, get more money. Then I would make sure, as step 2 here, that I would reduce the risk. Because if you're anything like me, you don't want to be the cheapest person in the market. You want to be the most premium choice. And when you charge a lot for your services, there's of course going to be more risk associated with taking your service. So you want to reduce the risk. There's a few ways to go about this. One is that you could offer a guarantee. This is especially useful in the beginning when you don't have other proof to show. Later on, you might not want to do it. Like I don't offer any guarantees myself because it does also attract the kind of like wrong kind of clients if you all the time just offer guarantees. But anyway, you could offer a guarantee that like if I take this photograph for you and you aren't happy, then I will refund you. Or you pay nothing if you don't like these photographs. Or I will take these photographs for you and then you only pay them if you like. So there's many type of guarantees what you can do, and you need to see what would you actually want to do. But when you do attach a guarantee to a high price, then it's gonna make it easier for the client to actually take your services. But for you to offer a guarantee, you of course must be confident in your own work. Because if you aren't confident, then, well, then it's not gonna it's not gonna work out. So you must be clear on that. Then, second way is that you just show your photographs. Like, I think this is the simplest way to go about it. But you show a potential client what you have done before. And if you for some reason haven't done that kind of photography before, well, then you should before you charge a lot. That's just how it goes, because why would somebody pay you a lot if you have never done it before? Wouldn't make sense. So it is very important you have photographs to show you can do what you say you can do. Okay? Then step/option 3 is that you showcase testimonials or case studies of your previous clients to this potential client. These previous clients don't necessarily need to be paying clients. They just need to be people, companies you have helped in the past. And what this results in is that they can see like, okay, well, you have done something similar in the past, and maybe you have helped somebody in a similar situation, then they're gonna feel much safer going in. Understanding testimonials and case studies will help you make more sales than whatever you ever say. Because when you are just speaking, then somebody might be thinking like, well, that person might be, not full of truth. But then if you have testimonials and case studies of other people saying that you're amazing, well, they're gonna believe what they say much more than if they would be just directly, talking and marketing yourself. So it is very important to gather testimonials and case studies. But yeah, of course, you will only get those once you have worked with some people before. But those are some of the main things what I would use to reduce the risk. Next up, what I would do is I would ask myself, how can I reduce the effort required on the client's part needed to achieve the dream outcome? So, for example, what you can do, now this completely depends on the kind of gig we would be dealing with, but what you could do is simply say that what I need from you is that we just have this one meeting, and that's it. I will take care of everything else, and on the shooting day, you show up there, and everything else I do for you. And then they see like, okay, well, this is good. Like, my time isn't as much required here, and then your offer is more attractive. So these are 3 steps what I would take. Next up, let's go through how to get clients without social media or paid ads. But before that, if you are a photographer who does want to become a freedom photographer who can make a living through your work without wasting time trying to figure this out on your own, relying on luck, or guessing all the time what on earth should you do, then DM me one-to-one on Instagram at Hughography, and let's see, could I help you achieve that goal and become a freedom photographer who has made photography their career. If you don't have Instagram, just take a short mentorship assessment from the link in the description. So this is what I would do to get clients without social media or paid ads. Let's use Alex Hormoz's Core 4 here because it is really simplified in this visual. Understand, these are 4 ways you can get clients. There's no more ways you can actually get clients. These are all the 4 ways. So there's warm outreach, cold outreach, you post free content, or you run paid ads. Those are the ways to get clients. First of all, you do not want to run paid ads because in the beginning, you aren't going to be good at making ads. And for the ads to work, you need to be great. There's many people saying in the photography business space that, oh, run paid ads and get clients. And while, yes, that works if you know how to do good ads, but that is horrible advice for those starting out because, yeah, you aren't going to be good at making ads in the beginning. It takes a lot of trial and error. And even when you are somebody who can make great ads, you still shouldn't just do paid ads because you should first post them on social media because then you can see there what's working. What ad works on social media without any dollars behind it, then likely does very well as a paid ad as well. So don't start with paid ads, okay? That's not the way to go about it. Then we have post-free content here, and of course this video is about how do we get clients without social media. So now we aren't gonna be, of course, trying to get clients this way. I do recommend that you do build a social media presence in 2026 and beyond, because that's gonna help you then get clients. You're gonna able to show proof that you are actually good at what you offer. But it's not a good way to rely on getting clients. Like if you post, then you don't know when you're gonna get clients from there. So it's not a good way to go about it, especially in the beginning. So that leaves us with warm outreach and cold outreach. What do this mean? So warm outreach is basically your friends, family, your network, so to say. So people who know something about you. Okay, so that's the warm network. Then cold outreach is you reaching out to people who don't know who you are. Okay, so these are two best ways. How I got my first ever client and how many people get their first clients is they utilize their warm network. So before you start sending out messages to strangers who don't know anything about you, send out messages to those who know you. Now, they themselves might not want to buy from you because they might not need it. Like your mom might not need your photography services, or your friend that you haven't talked in a while also might not need your services. But they might know somebody who does. That's the point. So you just send them a message that, hey, I'm doing this thing. Who do you know who could benefit from this? And very likely there's gonna be somebody who will be interested in your service. And then that's where you might get, your first client or many clients. But then once you have exhausted these options, or you have sent out the messages and maybe you have got some clients, maybe you haven't, then you move to cold outreach. So you start sending out messages or emails to people who don't know anything about you yet. Or you go in person and you start talking there. And that's like how one of my students, Nicole, has done it. I mean, she has also sent emails and stuff and got success also that way. But mainly how her approach has been is that she has went in person to reach out. And right now her services are so much liked in her small town in Switzerland, is that now clients are coming to her as well, which is awesome. And when it comes to cold outreach, it's important that it's aligned to who you are as a person. Like Nicole, she has liked going there in person and having the sales process like that. But personally, as an introvert, I don't want to go there in person. Like that's what I wouldn't want to do. I would rather send out messages and emails to people. So you must now, of course, pick how do you want to do it. Do you want to go in person? Do you want to send emails or messages? That's gonna be up to you. And the beauty is that both approaches work. Both work. So what you must keep in mind though when you are doing this cold approach is as follows. First is that if you do send out messages or emails, you don't write a novel. Like don't write a big email. I get so many cold emails that are horrible, and what makes them horrible simply is the length. It's like if I don't know anything about you, I'm not gonna read your big message. It's like I don't have much time and I don't want to spend reading it an email that I don't know is it even relevant for me. So don't make the mistake of just writing a big pitch and just sending it, because first you need to get the possible client actually interested and understanding maybe that they have a problem in the first place in their business or life. Then what's important is that you don't pitch immediately. What many people do is they try to make the process go super fast. Like they immediately go like, hey, do you want my photography service? The price is this much. And that's not good because, again, they don't know who you are. Then you probably haven't already asked what would they need, and they haven't feel like you have heard them. And so then it's gonna feel very out of place if you just randomly go and like, hey, I want this money for your service. Okay, so don't pitch immediately. Have some patience. So rather what you should do is something very simple. You approach like a human. Imagine that there's a human and you just offer help. You can say that, hey, I noticed this thing and it might be costing you this thing. Would you like that I showcase what I would do differently? Simple, right? Now you just lead with helping, value. You don't come across as needy, because if you come across as needy, like, hey, I need this, I want that you buy my service, nobody's gonna want to buy from you. But when you show that you can be of help, then people are much more open to listening to you, even if they don't know who you are. That's the secret to cold approach. So, my friend, first utilize the warm network, then do the cold outreach, and when doing this, of course, make sure you're doing it properly, you're targeting the right people, make sure you do have enough potential clients to contact as well, because if you run out of clients to contact, then, well, you can't reach out to anybody. And make sure you understand how the sales process goes overall, because if you don't understand how to sell your photography successfully, then, well, you're not gonna make any money. And I have actually made a video on this topic. So watch this video on the screen right now if you'd like to learn more about how to sell your photography successfully. Leave a like, subscribe, and see you there.